5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's the new Panic Room. It's the show other shows want to be, and the show that authors want to be on. Da! The all-new Panic Room radio show is brought to you by hellboundbooks.com.
Well, good evening, one and all. It is, and it's around fast. I didn't realise it was Thursday until about an hour ago. It is Thursday, the 8th of December, episode 74 of the new Panic Room, and it's 9:30 Central Time. And, yeah, that's the time check, doesn't it? So, well, Christmas has been and gone, so I thought I'd put a nice summary tune. That was the Bay City Rollers from way back in 1970-77 thing, back in, yes, I'm that old. And, yeah, so summertime, Merry Christmas has been on and stuff all for Game Soldiers. And it's a countdown to summertime now. And speaking of alcohol problems... How are you, my alcoholic friend?
Hey, speaking of alcohol problems, as I sip my wine right now, yeah.
As you sip your wine, there you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm doing wonderful, I am. But yeah, Good. You're right. It feels like Tuesday or Wednesday at the latest, but it's crazy that it's already Thursday. That's just
It just totally took my literally, and I know we joke about it, but I woke up this morning and it literally dawned on me. Shit, it is Thursday and it's show day. Wow, how did that happen? Because 1 minute we're opening prezzies and next minute we're So I hope you had a good Christmas. I hope our listener did too. And hope you got some jolly presents. I know I did. I got my wife and kids bought me a Britney Spears T-shirt. There's a bit of a history behind. A big Britney Spears fan. When my wife and I met, I was a fan, not in a creepy way. Actually, the computer I had at the time, I called that Britney.
That is kind of creepy, though.
And one of our staff members back in, we used to run our own company back in England. For one Christmas, she bought me a little paperweight, and the iconic picture of Britney Spears with the big yellow snake round her neck. Yeah. And actually, we do actually have one of those snakes, funnily enough. She actually bought me a paperweight with that picture in it. So I got my Britney Spears T-shirt, wore it to death. So I had to finally put it in the laundry because it was, as you can imagine, it was soiled.
I cannot see you wearing a Britney Spears T-shirt. I can't see it. You have to.
Honestly, I just look like a fat paedophile, to be honest. I really did. I wouldn't let me near my kids, to be honest. I got a glimpse of myself. A, I need a haircut. B, I need a shave. And C, I need to lose a bit of weight and not wear the Britney Spears T-shirt. Certainly not out.
That's a good present. Yeah.
It was good. It was good. And obviously, we spoilt the kids rotten and all the rest of it. Santa was incredibly generous this year, obviously. So, we're thinking. Obviously, the little one, it's still Santa's the man. I say a famous quote that's going to stick with me is, it's a good job there's a Santa daddy, so you don't have to pay for everything. Brilliant. It's just a magical age. I don't think it'll last till next year.
I had a nice, wonderful Christmas. My kids decided to leave me. I mean, they're like, "See you, Mom," and I've been alone, and it's kind of nice and quiet. But the first day that they were gone, it was like maybe a half a day where I was like, okay, I'm bored now. It's so weird. It was like, normally I can't wait. I want my own time, but, they leave and then I'm bored.
They're like pets, you kind of get attached to them. And it's funny, I mean, it's like when they went back after summer vacation, and then, look at after we had, because of Harvey, we had 13 weeks this year. They had 11 weeks and an extra 2 because of the hurricane, because a lot of the school district was flooded. It was like, cannot wait. And then that first Monday back, I just rattled around the house. I was lost.
Yeah.
Because they just fill the house.
Yeah, the scary part now is I don't know if I want them back. Now it's...
what you need to do is move. While they're away, just move. Don't tell them. Don't tell them where you've gone.
Well, I was joking around with my son and telling him that I was changing the locks. He was messaging me on Facebook, and I wasn't answering. He's like, "Where were you?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just changing the locks."
Excellent. Right. As long as you can afford the therapy, then you're good. Yeah. No, it is. And it's funny. I mean, Christmas is done now, and I'm sat thinking, well, they'll be back. They're back on the 6th or 7th, and then it's literally it's countdown to, because the end of May, then they break up for summer. So you're looking at 5 months, and in the meantime, I mean, they've got spring break, which is a week, I believe.
Yeah.
And then literally that's it, and it's wow. Suddenly I'm stuck with a little bugger for another 10 weeks. So. Bless
I'm not looking forward to it. Yeah, not so much.
Well, I mean, now the little one's a bit older, and she will be on later, folks. So brace yourselves. Now she's older. I mean, I used to send her to like a summer school thing, where the nursery she was at. I know she's got too old for that, but now she knows. I mean, it works well. She knows in the morning, because I'm usually up early anyway. In the morning, Daddy, it's working time, and that's when I write and do what I need to do. And then afternoons, we'll hang out and, they swim in the pool, do stuff, or just hang or whatever. And she's now, thankfully, I mean, for the last couple of years at that age now where she can entertain herself.
Yeah.
Which is, so, I mean, now it's funny, she's a couple of mornings for Christmas, I've had to go upstairs to see if she's awake. She slept through to like 11 today, and I went up, and she just sat watching TV or playing on her phone or whatever, and she's quite happy. So they can entertain themselves. That's kind of good.
Yeah, now that mine is, how old is he? He's 13 now. He's going to be 14.
You should know this. You should know that.
I know, he's going to be 14 soon, so that's why I was stumbling over it. Yeah. But, during the summertime, and even when he's on breaks, he won't get up until, like, noon or something, which I can't say too much because I just got up, 10 minutes before him, so... but there was a time, he was up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, no, go back to sleep. But now I'm, checking. And are you okay?
Well, my eldest, as soon as he's in vacation time, he goes all vampiric. He goes nocturnal. He's up all night because his best gaming buddy, who they moved to California, so of course he's 2 hours behind. So it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. It's only 11 o'clock over there, so he's still rocking and rolling. But no, he will stay up gaming till 3, 4 in the morning, and then sleep through till noon. And I mean, he's fine. I mean, he seems to take the adjustment when it goes back to school. Takes that well, so it works out. It does work out.
Yeah.
Hopefully. So hey, it's the final show of 2017, which means. Next week, we are into our 3rd year, sort of, if you push it a bit. Well, we did 2016, some of.
Yeah.
2017, 2018 is our 3rd year of broadcasting, which is absolutely... Who'd have thought it?
Yeah, we need to celebrate.
Thought, from those first early, god-awful days, we would be, masters of iTunes and, a cult following. Who'd have thought it?
I'm just really glad that there's no record anymore of those very first shows, the very, very first ones.
I wish there was, because we could play snippets of them. They would be great. I would love that.
Oh God.
I would love that. But they were dreadful. They were dreadful. I like to think we've improved since then. I really do.
I don't cringe anymore when I listen to them back, and I used to back then, so that's definitely a plus.
I never really listen back. It's very rare I listen back to show one, because I really don't have the time. But when I edit them to go on, because obviously now they go on iTunes, I have to tweak them a little bit. Listening back, and it's good. It's the sort of thing I would probably sit and listen to if I had the time. Yeah. But I don't. But same way I very rarely read books more than once, because I know what's happening. So I know what's going.
I still do. And it's kind of like the same thing with movies with me as well. I would much prefer watching something I know is really, really good, even if I've seen it a million times, than to watch something that might be crap.
There are some things, some movies I will watch again and again. I mean, it's funny enough, the SpongeBob movie is one of my favorites. The Lego movie, 2 of my favorites there. I mean, Hellraiser, obviously. Exorcist. I mean, there's a bunch of films that if I catch them on, I'll sit and I'll watch them. Alien is another one and it's on like every week pretty much on some channel. And if I just happen upon it, I will sit and watch it, But books, it's not often, because a book is a big investment in time, and I don't often. I reread The Exorcist. I reread The Rats. There's a couple I've reread, but. I get bored too easily. That's my problem. I get reread when I'm reading my own. When I'm editing my own. After about the 3rd edit, I'm bored to tears. Oh, not again.
My brain is like a blank slate or something. I remember
that's probably the alcohol that's doing that. To be honest,
hey now. There was this one book that I think I must have read at least 6 times, and every single time I get to the oh my God, the plot twist, I can't remember it's coming. Like I read it and I'm like, oh my God. And I've 6 times I go through this. So it's in that, I guess that's a good thing, to be me, I guess, because it doesn't take a lot to really, I don't know.
Yeah, I think maybe it's because books stick in my head probably more than movie. Because for me, a movie, watching anything on the TV is my new brain neutral time. That's just literally kicking my brain into neutral, and it's like, whereas with reading, your brain is active. Your brain is doing the imagining, doing the visualization. With a movie, it's all done for you. So that's why I watch the amount of TV, and it can be anything. I will sit and watch SpongeBob even when the kids are not home, or I'll be watching. And India, she'll bugger off upstairs to do something a bit more grown up, and I'll sit and I've not seen this one before. I've not seen this SpongeBob for it's an old. I love this one. And I will sit and watch it, and it's just because it's just a great way of just unhooking the brain for a little bit, and it's the only thing that will do that for me. Whereas a book, is a big investment for me, and I think it probably sticks more. Sticks more. Yeah. So it's certainly a good one. Or to be fair, the bad ones stick as well, which is
but I can't finish those. I put those down. I don't have enough time anymore. I used to have a thing where I had to finish a book if I started it, but I don't. Not anymore. Life is too short. If I don't like it, I put it down. I'm
forever the Yorkshireman. If I've paid for it, I'll bloody well finish it.
No.
If I've paid for something, I very rarely put it down. But it has happened, I must admit. It must have. Yeah. I mean, I ploughed through 50 Shades of Grey, all of it, the first book, because I paid for the book. And it was terrible. But literally, within the first couple of chapters, I thought, this is... and it was a chore to read it. It was hard work to read it.
I didn't think it was hard work because it was written so immaturely, I guess. So it was very
But it was just difficult. It was hard to stay in the story because, like you say, the bad writing, the repetition kept dragging you out of it, and I kept getting back into it. And whereas you read a good book and it just drags you in and you stay there. It's one of those where you put the book down and you're still there.
Yes, and you're wondering what's going on, what's going to happen. How can you get back? When can you get back? Yeah, definitely. I miss those good books, which I'm actually reading a really good book right now, and I feel like that. I'm reading, oh, goodness, we had her on the show a couple weeks ago, Xtina Bergling. Is that how you say her last name?
Xtina Bergling, yes, The Waning.
Yes.
What
I'm reading that.
Awesome book.
It is. It really is. I love the way it's written, and I'm in the. I don't want to say a whole lot about it, but I'm in the cage with her right now. Waiting.
I know. It is. That was one that I really struggled to put down. I just had to keep reading it, and I just didn't know. I really need to go to bed now, but I just want one more bit. And
I know. I think I'm about 60,
it just drag you right in there.
60% in, and right now I'm just freaking out because I'm like, how is it going to end? It's a horror novel, right? I mean, I can't expect a happily ever after or anything.
It's very psychological.
Thriller, right?
Very. I mean, it's got some great sort of horror bits in it, but for me, the horror was the psychology behind it.
Yeah.
Because she puts you in the heroine's head so firmly rooted in that woman's head.
I know.
You're really there, like you say, you are there with her, and I mean, that's a book that is going to stay with me for quite some time. So
how she describes the cage, just that alone. Like when I'm sitting in my nice, comfortable reclining chair, and I'm reading about the bars pressing against her, and I'm starting to get uncomfortable because I can feel the bars.
What you should do is you should buy a cage. Buy one of those dog crates and sit in that and read it, just to get the whole there you go. Go sit in that and read it. That would just give the ultimate experience.
Yeah. Take a picture. No, I'm not going to do that though.
That's a whole different ballgame. So anyway, I mean, do we know what's going on tonight? I don't, because like I say, I didn't know it was Thursday. So what's going on this very evening?
See, I wanted you to read the guest names because I have two that you might struggle pronouncing, and I'm really excited about that.
Okay, well, let's go for it. We have mystery authors Josh Finney and Patrick McEvoy, and why they're a mystery, I don't know. I don't know why maybe they're just mysterious. I don't know. So I thought there's probably only one way to find out. We can ask them. Are you there, Josh and Patrick?
Absolutely.
Hello.
I think I am.
Oh, somebody sounds like they're phoning in from somewhere just beyond Mars.
Yeah.
This is Josh.
Could you,
Patrick?
Sorry, who's the louder one? Is that Josh or Patrick?
Josh.
Okay. Josh, I can hear you loud and clear, Patrick. I think he's phoning in from the Voyager spacecraft, so hopefully...
Are you hearing me any better now? No?
Hey, there we are. Yes, the Eagle of London. Patrick, how are you, sir?
Good.
I don't know where you were. I don't know where you were. Did you have the phone upside down again? Did you know I'm always doing that? I'm always doing that. Hello.
Fancy new tube-based technology from the 1950s. So.
Dear me, it's like when we were kids, we used to use a couple of tin cans and a bit of string. That's fun. You know, I could never get that to work, to be honest, but I'm told. I think the secret was having the string taut, because me and my friend, my best mate Vita, used to try that, and to get it to work, well, what we thought was working, we used to have the string literally probably about 3 or 4 yards long. So to be fair, we could have probably heard each other anyway. To be honest,
well,
can you hear me, Peter? I said, can you hear me? Yeah, can you hear me? And literally, we just shouted across the garden without the tin cans. It'd have been better.
Actually, it works better without string if you use copper wire that doesn't have any insulation on it.
Right. Okay. I wish I'd known that now.
I never tried anything like that. No.
That was fun. It was funny. I mean, when again, this is going to age me a bit. When we were kids, I mean, not everybody had house phones. I mean, we were some of the first families to have a house phone, and we got ours. And literally, me and my friend Pete, we could see each other's houses. We're literally across the street, and we'd phone each other. And can you see me? We're waving out the window. And then, because Mum and Dad would get mad because the phone bill had come, it'd be astronomical. Who have you been ringing? Because they didn't do itemised in those days. I don't know. And it was just me, and we would just be on, and he'd get a new record, a new album, and he'd play it for me. And he'd phone me, instead of me going round to his house, he'd phone me. And I'd listen to both sides of the album on the phone.
Wow.
So I probably owe my parents a small fortune in phone bills. So anyway, enough reminiscing. Josh and Patrick, thank you so much for joining us. You guys are co-writers, it says here. I'm not sure why you're a mystery, because maybe you're mysterious people. The tagline, H.P. Lovecraft as told by Raimi and Chandler, I really don't think it comes much better than that. I really do not. What an awesome, that is just phenomenal. Please do elaborate.
Well, first off, actually,
one at a time, please. Come on.
The problem with having two of us, we'll spend the rest of the evening talking at the same time.
Do I have to dummy someone?
As long as it's not me, I'm okay.
Go ahead, Patrick.
Well, I was going to start by saying, hopefully I can clear a few things up. It's a graphic novel. So Josh and I came up with the concept together, and Josh is the writer, and I'm the artist. So we sort of look at it as he's sort of the writer and producer of a movie, and I'm sort of the director and all the actors. So,
that's pretty cool.
So which one of you is the art? Which one is the artist? Josh is the artist, yeah?
No, the talkative one is the artist, believe it or not. That's me.
I'm the writer.
So who does it? So Patrick does the drawings, yeah?
Correct.
Right. Yay! So I'm keeping up.
And so the book is we like to think a really good combination of horror and hard-boiled detective mystery. It's like right down the middle. It's sort of a subgenre that both of us have always kind of liked, but there are precious few successful pieces out there that really, play in these grounds. So we decided let's do the best one that's ever been made. And we may have done it, but we don't know for sure.
Well, I feel we have. But actually, in time, what it was originally we had just come off another project called World War Kaiju, and Patrick was best known for his work with Chaosium and a few other gaming companies, and he did tons of Lovecraft art. And fans kept asking, okay, well, when are you going to do something Lovecraft? And we thought about doing a straight adaptation at first, an adaptation where I would, script it and he'd write it, but that really bored us, and we started getting to talking about, Lord of Illusion and Angel Heart and a few other films. Mm-hmm. And somehow both of us kind of settled on that's what we want to do with Lovecraft. We wanted a hard-boiled detective story set in Lovecraft's New England.
Oh, wow.
And that's kind of where it started. And I realized there is a lot of books sort of in this genre, the occult detective, but most of the exposure I found, it was kind of more of a monster hunter story first and then a detective later. And we really did come at this as a solid detective noir that just happened to be in Lovecraft's world.
Uh-huh. And a number of them that have come out are very tongue-in-cheek also, which kind of defeats the purpose of both genres. So ours is not tongue-in-cheek at all.
No. And, I spent, months just poring over everything, Philip Marlowe and James Ellroy, and really wanted to bring that feeling to the horror genre. So that's kind of where the headspace of this book is. And the other thing that was really interesting was studying both, the weird horror or weird fiction that Lovecraft wrote and the early days of noir. Both kind of came from the same headspace and the same era. So it really did suit each other real well.
Yeah, I can, and there's just a certain what's the word? There's just a certain style about certainly the Raymond Chandler sort of style that I can see that fitting in incredibly well, because it's a certain pattern of description of talking, I guess. That I'm obviously I think any horror writer has got to have some sort of love for H.P. Lovecraft, So interesting one. Interesting. I'm a big fan of Clive Barker. I mean, you mentioned Lord of Illusion. Clive Barker's Harry D'Amour, and obviously Angel Heart was a good one as well. But I think there's probably
those are really two. Yeah, those are two of our big touchstones: Angel Heart and Lord of Illusions. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you just as a silent? Did you read the Scarlet Gospels, because obviously that sort of hooked in Pinhead and Harry D'Amour together? I mean, did you read that? I think it was supposed to be the swan song of Pinhead. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the reason I mentioned, I'm a massive Clive Barker fan. I was left a little bit disappointed with it, to be honest with you. It didn't deliver for me. It didn't deliver. So
I have not read that one, but I will read it and prepare to be disappointed.
Oh no!
That's actually why I haven't gotten to it.
Don't let me spoil it. I mean, to be fair, I mean, I paid a lot of money. I got a signed copy as well, because I wanted to sign Clive Barker. So I read it again. Being a Yorkshireman, I bought it. I'm not going to read it. I mean, it was good, but I don't think it did. It certainly didn't do the Pinhead trope an awful lot of favours, to be honest. I was sad that Clive felt that he had to kill him off, to be honest. But spoiler alert, by the way.
They've killed him before.
We can edit that in post. We're all right. So,
one of the sequels to the Pinhead movies is a horror detective, but it wasn't written by Clive Barker. Which one is that? Number 4 or number 5? But it's
was
an out
one
and out
in space.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's one that's just an out and out detective noir meets horror. I read
an article about, I forget which, I think it might have been, it could have been 5 or 6, and apparently, because obviously that they have to produce a Hellraiser film every couple of years, otherwise they'll lose the franchise. And it was just a detective story that they had, which they just tagged Pinhead and Co. onto it. And to be fair, it would have been... No, this is true. I mean, look it up. To be fair, it would have been a good story without. It just felt. Watching it, you can see they've just stuck that on. Just for the sake of it. Which kind of spoiled it a little bit.
Yeah, it was a good movie. It needed some horror underpinnings, but it was a good movie even without that. But the only problem with that movie, if anybody wants to watch it based on this, I would actually recommend it. Except you have to keep in mind that it looks like they completely ran out of money the last 20 minutes, and it might as well be a high school stage play.
Yeah, well, probably did. I mean, most of the budget went paying Doug Bradley to to get out of bed and do it. But obviously, we're left Xtina behind. She literally only just recently watched Hellraiser, and only because I bullied her into it.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, I know.
I know exactly. Exactly.
And the parts with the actual Pinhead dude was like 5 minutes or something. I mean, I don't know. I expected to see him more.
He was never intended to be more than a side character in the story, but that was the image that everyone locked onto.
Yeah, that's the image I see everywhere. But I'm like, I didn't see him much in the movie. It was okay. That's all I'm gonna say. It was okay.
It's okay. How dare you? How dare you?
I know.
It's a classic. It's a classic movie.
You say so. Okay, so I want to.
I was going to say, just we're so completely far afield with this Clive Barker stuff. We're going to tell an incredibly short story. Just that my very first published piece of art was the back cover for a fanzine called Cenobium, which was all about Hellraiser-based stuff. The front cover was actually drawn by Clive Barker, and I got the back cover. So that's my little claim to fame, my very first piece of art published. It was like 91 or 92.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, that is awesome. Awesome. I mean, I think I made my brush with Clive Barker. I read. I remember picking up Books of Blood back in 87, 88. And it was, again, just could not put them down. And it actually stopped me writing for about 10, 15 years, because I could never be this good. I could never, seriously, if this is, he just raised the bar so fucking high. There's just no way. I mean, I'd grown up on Guy and Smith and James Herbert, obviously early Stephen King. And I thought, I got a good stab at matching these guys. I read Clive, and it was just so wildly out there, so different, so unique, that it was just like, I haven't got a fucking prayer. And it took me a long time to sort of get back to the point where I felt I could, even be in the same genre as Clive Barker. So thanks, Clive. But again, still a massive fan. So love the guy's work. I love the guy's work.
I want to hear the excerpt, the reading. But before I ask for it, I want to tell this cute little story that makes me sound just a little tiny bit airheaded. But when I asked, for them to provide a reading, I was looking at the email, and it said on the bottom that it was pages 39 and 40 or something. But my mind said, the reading was going to be 39 to 40 pages, and I was like, wow, that is a long reading. I don't think we'll have time for that. But
we're going to extend the show by about 5 hours, yeah.
Yes. But that's exactly what I thought. And so now looking at the reading we have, I'm like, man, that's not 39 pages. So
it could be very, very big writing.
True. Okay, so which one of you are going to do the reading for us?
Well, I believe to further defy the stereotype, I'm going to have the artist read it.
Yes,
Patrick?
I've been told I volunteered. So again, this is a graphic novel, so you just have to imagine some really moody pictures going on here. We're about 39 or 40 pages into the book at this point, and our hero Hank Flynn, who's a detective who's kind of getting in over his head with something weird, but he doesn't know quite what yet. He's driving to meet somebody that his client has told him he has to see. So that's where we enter the story. And you know that I have a voice for radio, right? This is as deep as it gets. So imagine basically Robert Mitchum reading this. Yesterday, everything about this case told me it was a dud. A day or two's work for a quick $100. But now I felt as though someone was trying to squeeze me into the punchline of an elaborate joke. The question was, who would I find laughing at the end? Derleth? Pickman? Or would it be this crazy Swami I was about to meet? Madame Balthazar. Her real name was Martha Pritchard. And from what I could tell, the lady had been in the fake-aloo business for a long, long time. Amazing what you can dig up on a person just by thumbing through the old phone books. Being the good Catholic boy I am, I knew the routine. Crying statues, virgin apparitions, or even apparitions. Sorry about that. Be it a Bible or a crystal ball, it was all the same game. Parting rubes from their hard-earned cash. These days, my faith didn't come so cheap. The war had left me with a lot of questions for God, most of them angry. Very, very angry. And I was damn certain none of the answers would ever be sufficient to set my mind at ease. Who knows? Maybe miracles are real. Maybe the fact that I'm still breathing is one of them. Or was it punishment? Hard to tell. But what I did know was there ain't nobody who ever found a genuine miracle behind a pair of cheap curtains and a neon sign.
I like it. But I want more. My brain was saying it was 39 to 40 pages, and that's, like half a page. So.
And the image there that it settles on when it says cheap curtains and a neon sign is the window of the psychic he's about to go visit for his client, who's a huckster.
Yeah. So, but she's a real creepy huckster. So we got to do a lot of fun, creepy stuff. Actually, I based a lot of the characters on movie stars of the time. So our hero really does look a little bit like Robert Mitchum. And then Madame Balthazar looks a lot like Betty Davis.
Yeah.
So,
excellent.
A lot of fun.
You decided on the Mitchum look. I know that we consulted on a lot of them, but you were the reason he looked like Mitchum.
Robert Mitchum. Yeah. I probably not many people remember Robert Mitchum. I do.
Well, he was in obviously one of the best film noir movies of all time. Yes, Out of the Past. And so I kind of settled on that look in general. He's wearing the trench coat, he's got the hat, and he's young and real handsome. Although I never thought Robert Mitchum had a good enough chin, so I gave my character a stronger chin.
I appreciate you doing that.
It looks like we are just about out of time for our first segment, so don't go anywhere, and we will be back in just a little bit. Do I normally say more than that? I think I'm all messed up because of the break or something. I think that's it, though. We'll be back. Is that good?
You can build your part up all you want, but we're going to have a quick break for roughly 3 minutes and 56 seconds. So go get a water, and I'm going to have a wee. So we'll be right back.
Welcome back to part 2.
Oh, do you know, I needed that. By gum, did I need that. And that, to be fair, that was only halfway through. So, hey, welcome back to part 2. We have, because it is Christmas break and she's allowed up past her bedtime, we have Indie Corner. So here she is. That's not a real name. It's Indie. Obviously, she's got a corner as part of the show. So, Good evening. Do the jingle.
It's a mini Megan Trainor. It's a mini Harley Quinn. It's a mini Indie.
Indie Corner. Indie Corner.
Yes.
I've got my own jingle as well. So, hey, guys and gals. India, it's a bit of a special one this evening. She is going to be reading from her first published novel, which is called...
My First Tooth.
My First Tooth. Remember to talk into that bit. Right, can you do... Right, okay, so are we sitting comfortably?
Oh, always. I am, yes.
Are you? Right, off you go. First novel, My First Tooth, go for it.
It was a normal day at school/PE. My tooth felt like it was hanging by a thread. So I played with it, and I thought to myself, stop playing with it. Before I knew it, I pulled my tooth out. I yelled, my tooth! I thought to myself, ew, blood. I was bleeding and my heart was pounding. Everyone around me was yelling, teacher, to get the teacher's attention. I thought to myself, wow, my first tooth. Then the coach came over and saw my tooth. My heart was pounding. I felt grossed out. I thought to myself, why did I play with it? The coach pulled me up and said, come with me. So I followed him. Then I looked at my spot. It was all bloody. When I looked at my hands, they were shaking and bloody too. When we got to the cabinet, the coach pulled out a holder chest. He said, put your tooth in here. So I put my tooth in it and then went to the bathroom to wash the blood. I thought to myself, money.
I love that.
Fantastic.
Yes,
so
that was a great ending.
It's a twist ending, which is fantastic. You know, so well done.
Thank you.
Well done. I'm sure we will be seeing that on the bookshelves very, very soon. Very, very soon. We should publish that.
Okay.
Okay, we'll publish that.
Yay!
In fact, I'm going to have a word with Patrick and see if he could illustrate it. That'd be great. He could sort of illustrate it.
I can see the blood and the
designs.
tooth like that. Yes, definitely.
That's right. Yeah, that'd be fantastic. So, hey, and I've not forgotten her. It is what happens now? Do you have any idea?
Becky.
Oh, is it? Oh, it is. You know, I nearly forgot. So here we go.
Hey, looks like it's time to review something. Oh no!
It's Becky.
No.
Becky, the reviewer. How are you this evening, Becky? You gonna say hi to India? Say hi, Becky.
Hi.
Say howdy there, y'all.
Howdy there, y'all.
There you go.
Hi, India.
So, what are you reviewing for us this evening, Becky?
Well, it's a story by Glenn Ross. It's a short story, but boy, does it pack a punch. It's called Welcome to Paradise, a brutal love story. I'm telling you, I love the short stories. I love the novels, but I love the short stories because it always amazes me how engrossed you can get in a short story. This is no exception. I mean, it sucks you in and you're like, whoa. I read this twice just because I was afraid I might have missed something the first time. And that's saying something because, you know, I usually don't have time or I just, you know, I can't read it again, you know. It's no secret that Glenn can write. He can make you cringe, cry, and cower in the corner, and I absolutely love his writing. You just become so immersed in his book.
And the story starts out with a woman who's staying at a hotel, and she's getting dressed to go out and find a man. And yes, a man. She is on the hunt, and I don't mean that lightly. She goes into a diner. She's been staying there for a while. She goes into a diner across the street, and the cook knows her. And they speak, and then this guy walks in, and he sits down next to her, and they start talking. And they have dinner, and then they go back to her room, and that is where all hell breaks loose. And I'm telling you, you want to read this. James
and we
will
shall.
love this.
Yeah, where do we find it? I mean, it's a short story.
Where can we get?
Where is it?
Yeah.
It's on Amazon.com, and it's published as just a short story, but it's really, really amazing. I couldn't put it down. It was like when I read Flanagan. You know, I read it and I was like, oh my God. And then I only have one complaint and one plea. My complaint is that it was over.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, no. There has to be another 500 pages here somewhere.
Somewhere.
And please. And my plea is, Glenn, please write another one.
Awesome.
That follows this one. Or a prequel to it or whatever it's at. You know, and I keep saying this about Flanagan too, but nobody listens to me.
I know, and I really need to start listening more because you were the one who introduced me to Jeff Strand, who became one of my absolutely favorite authors ever, and I can't seem to get enough of his writing. So I do need to do more attention. Yeah. And I need
you
to
will love Glenn's writing.
I've read that. Yeah.
Yeah, you will love Glenn's writing. It's. I mean, you start reading and you just fall into it. And it's like that with James too. When you read something that James writes, and that doesn't happen with me with every book I read. It's not very often, where I just like fall into it and everything else is gone.
Yeah. But it's awesome when it happens.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I love it. So, yes, this is definitely a recommendation.
Awesome. So, what is the title again and the author? One more time.
The author's name is Glenn Rolfe, and it's called Welcome to Paradise, a short story of brutal love.
Awesome.
And it is brutal.
You got me at brutal love there. So
yeah.
And in many ways, all love is brutal. Really, in many ways, I think.
Right.
I like to feel,
agree.
unless I've been watching the wrong movies, I guess. But so do you want to say bye-bye? India she started picking a scab on her knee, so India would like to say goodbye to Becky. Do you want to say goodbye? No, India is not Becky. Becky might be picking a scab on her knee. I don't know. India definitely is. Do you want to say goodbye to Becky?
Bye.
Lean it.
Bye.
I said bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. Bye, Becky, and we will speak to you next week.
Bye, Becky.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, she's always happy. It's sickening. It really is. That should be miserable every now and then, like us.
I'm always happy too. Do you just assume I'm drunk? Is that what it is?
I just assume you're drunk, to be honest.
Okay.
So welcome back, Josh and Patrick. Are you still there,
Hello?
guys? Hello.
Oh, absolutely.
Still alive.
If anyone has seen Case File Arkham, you would know that Patrick is quite skilled when it comes to illustrating blood, so maybe he is a perfect for India's story.
Nice.
Oh, there you go. Fantastic. We will talk after the show, definitely.
Yes, it sounded very promising. I could definitely turn that into a nightmare of blood.
Fantastic.
An oral abattoir.
Oh, I like it. Do you like that idea?
What?
Do you like it being all gruesome and gory?
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Very promising young lady there.
This is the 8-year-old who sat through it and loved it.
Nice.
I can't even. I have a 13-year-old son. I can't even get him to watch horror movies with me because they scare him, and he's
wow.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
What
you need to. I'd worry.
Wrong.
Yeah, something terribly wrong there. It's, maybe is it too late to take him back and get a different one?
After 13, almost 14 years, I think it is. Yeah, I keep threatening to drop him off at one of those safe zones, but he knows the address, so I think he would.
Well, apparently, if you drop them off at a fire station by the law, they have to take them. So there you go. Just drop him off to start again. Drop him off. Go to the orphanage and pick a different one. So you know.
Yeah, I don't even think I would end so. I think I'll stick with my dog. I have a good dog, so he watches scary movies with me. My dog does.
There you go. Although we watched, we sat and watched Annabelle Creation. We've seen it twice now, Annabelle Creation, and she actually squealed through most of that. And it's funny, with the second time, because she knew what was coming up, she built herself up to it, and she squealed even louder. But it is one, if you've not seen it, a recommendation. Well, it's one hell of a spooky film. Better than Annabelle, actually. Yeah. For scariness, it was real. She got bored through Annabelle, but Annabelle Creation just
I did too.
Scared the willies out of her.
Yeah, it was only like 2 or 3 really scary parts in Annabelle, I thought. So
yeah. Annabelle Creation was just it was scare after scare after scare. It was incredibly well done.
Awesome! I want to watch that.
There you go.
Although I'm kind of a wuss. You had me watch the autopsy of Jane Doe, and that scared the crap out of me. I don't know. I was cursing your name. I was wishing all kinds of bad things, because I was so scared.
But that's the point. It's a scary film. That is rather the point. Oddly enough.
Yeah, not unicorns and butterflies.
No, not unless the unicorn, the butterflies are, mutilating and savaging the unicorns. Yeah. That I would sit and watch quite happily. Yeah. Quite happily.
Oh, so I was wondering, the graphic novel, it's called Case File Arkham Nightmare on the Canvas, is that correct?
Right, and it's actually going to be a series.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Is it a series? How many are there in the series?
Well, there's going to be as many as we can get out of ourselves and as much as an audience demands. It's going to be told the same way those old classic noir novels were written, where each story is a standalone that you can start up at any point. But if you read them all, you get more out of it.
Awesome.
And the next book should be out within the first quarter of 2018. And it's entitled Her Blood Runs Cold. So.
Now, do you have ideas for other books in this series, or do you think of them beforehand, or do you have them planned out already, or?
Well, actually, I remember when Patrick and I first sat down and started talking about Case File Arkham, we kind of sketched out a number of different cases he could do, just kind of rough. The idea is that each story would take an element or two of a Lovecraft story and then insert our character into it. Or, how would it happen in this world if the detective was the main character and it be a case rather than the passive Lovecraft protagonist who usually is trying to just keep his sanity as the supernatural comes to crush him.
Actually, that's a good time. I think that's a good time to throw in the fact that this first book, Nightmare on the Canvas, is actually a Lovecraft novel or a Lovecraft story, Pickman's model, which we did just from another point of view. What if a hard-boiled detective were the primary protagonist instead of one of the ineffectual characters that Lovecraft liked to write? So, yeah, the first one is Pickman's model.
And in fact, the way that it's written, for the most part, I mean, there's a few contradictions, but you can read Lovecraft's story and ours together, and it's like seeing different sides of it. It's like our story kind of rides parallel to the events of that story and keeps crossing in and out of it. And that's to a much lesser extent with the second book, but it's definitely, again, we take a Lovecraft story and say, well, okay, if Raymond Chandler approached this, and if the lead character was an active participant where he actually put himself into the action, which detectives do, rather than just kind of standing again passively as Lovecraft's characters do, how would it play out? What if this character was a femme fatale instead of the creepy fish lady?
Wow. I'm going to really have to check these out. I've never really... Okay, the only experience I would have with graphic novels is when they stopped the Buffy the Vampire Slayer series and they started doing them as graphic novels. Like, that's the only thing I know of them. And
those
kind of
were really
cool,
good.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I like that series.
So your question, what's next? I've actually got a third one plotted out. I've actually written the treatment. But I can't tell you anything about it because that would kind of, again, ruin it when it happens.
That's just mean.
Oh, well, no, I mean, to be fair, actually, we could say they were mystery authors, and there's the mystery right there.
Well, I was going to say, we won't tell anybody.
Yeah, we've got something coming up, and we're not going to tell you. So, and we just want to read it all the more now. So, when will the third one be out?
Okay. Actually, I think I can tell you a little bit. Woo! The third one is Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah. Say that again. I don't think they heard you.
I don't think you heard me either, because I haven't told you about this.
Yeah.
I've written the treatment. Call of Cthulhu.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hello?
And this is an ex. I think he's stunned silence.
Well, one thing to keep in mind is, unlike a lot of the Lovecraft adaptations that other people do, we really do stick with the concept that the old gods should be handled as kind of a background threat. They're kind of a looming disaster. Actually, the way that I like to think of the old gods in Lovecraft as kind of living under the threat of the bomb in the 1950s.
Yes, okay.
If you actually have the bomb fall, the story's over. It needs to always be this looming threat that's driving everyone crazy and paranoid and causing rash action to people. You should never actually have the monster or the great gods show up where it just kind of all falls apart. So no tentacle beast will rise out of the ocean and kill our character.
Oh, boo!
Right.
we want. I bet tentacle beasts are great to draw as well.
I love them, and there are plenty of tentacly beasts in our stories, so don't worry. And actually, there's something coming out of the water too. So yeah.
Well, yeah. There's nothing about visions in the dream world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's stuff that's happening in the visions and dreams.
Yeah. But if you go on Amazon and check out our first Case File Arkham book, you'll probably see a link there to the next one, so you can pre-order it at this point, or just wait around.
And my God, you're doing a wonderful cover on that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was really a joy to draw. And actually, I went back to, since we were doing something that takes place in the mid-1940s, mid to late 40s, the ground zero of the film noir era, I decided to do the art kind of like some of the comic strip art from that era, the things that were in the newspaper every day. And there were some fantastic artists, including Alex Raymond was my main inspiration for the book. And it's just amazing how that detective comic strip art really lends itself to horror as well. So I was pretty happy with how the art went in these. And Josh knows how to write a ripping yarn.
Thank you.
Ripping yarn. I like it. So, I mean, how do you...
I know you got the reference.
Yeah, I definitely. I mean, how do you guys? Obviously, you work together. Do you work well together, or is it sort of do you fall out a lot?
Oh, we just despise each other. Just hate it. Patrick at one point drove what was it, 9 hours down from San Jose or Northern California to just punch me in the face and drive off. I'm so terrible.
Excellent. So you have the whole Betty Davis, Joan Crawford thing going on. I like that.
Oh no, we get along great.
I like that.
We definitely get along great. There's very few problems.
We do pretty well. Yeah, as a creative team, we're probably a little better than most, I guess, and we even put together our own kind of way to do comics, to write and draw, beyond the normal script and artist paradigm. So that's I guess that probably speaks to our being in sync a bit.
Yeah, and
awesome.
Then there was also the fact that this was a story in which I could write it, and I knew that I could trust you to follow your instincts on the images, and if you came up with something, it was probably going to be better than what I suggested on the page. So, if I had a scene, you'd just pump it up even that much more. So, yeah, I mean, we work really well together on that term.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
I want to do 11 questions. Who's going to do 11 questions with me?
Sure.
Well, yeah, we can both do them. We can swap off and then.
I like that idea.
Rochambeau for the last one.
Okay, well, let's go. So we're doing 11 double teaming, 11 questions. Here we go.
And now, 11 questions.
Okay, and I have not mentioned this in a while, but it is 11 questions, and but there's only 10 questions. It's a long story, and don't get me started because I think James is just messing with my head for a whole year. But anyway, okay. Number 1, what's your guilty pleasure? Not everybody wants.
Josh better go. Okay. I'll do the next one.
I didn't hear the answer to that one. What was the answer?
I said cheesy 80s anime.
Ooh. Okay, it's got to be cheesy. Gotcha.
Yeah. Or horrible movies from the 50s.
Ah, nice.
That's mine was going to be Barry. Mine was going to be Barry Manilow, so his is much better.
Oh, ouch. Ouch.
Okay, baked beans, ranch style or pork and beans?
I sort of make my own. I start with pork and beans, and I make a homemade barbecue sauce with my own device that I have around in the refrigerator. So I add my own barbecue sauce to pork and beans.
That actually sounds really good. Much better than James' made-up ranch style thing. Yeah, he's making that up.
It's not made up. It is real. It is real. I sent you a picture and everything.
You did. I still like to mess with you about it, though.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, puppies or kittens?
Rats.
Josh?
Rats.
Rats. I like rats.
Okay.
I can vouch that he is 100% on the level with that.
You can add your own answers. That's cool. That's perfectly okay. What's your favorite lunch meat?
It's so boring. It's deli turkey.
You see, that's the only answer that will get a buzz for me is when somebody says turkey. So that's definitely
turkey.
I need a buzz.
Sorry about that. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I meant rat.
Oh, gross.
Oh, God.
Hey, that was Josh's answer, and everyone loved it.
True. Okay, what was your first car?
Honda CRX.
Awesome. What do you fear
No,
most?
it's not awesome. No.
I don't know. I have no idea. See, every time when this question is answered, I have no answer because I have nothing, to tell me what that is. So, I don't know if I should be going yay or buzzing. I have no clue. You didn't say Porsche, so that's. Okay. What do you fear most, snakes or spiders?
Oh my God, spiders!
Yes.
Oh, it's not even close. I could sleep in a bed full of snakes.
Me too.
But if there was a spider on the wall in the next room, I could not sleep until it was dead.
Yes, I agree. If you go to if you go to kill it and it falls or something and you can't find it, that's it. I have to move.
And why didn't you die? Why didn't you die? I had the spray all over you. You're swimming in the stuff. You fell and you got away. I hate you, spider. Yep, that's spiders. Let's go with spiders.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Okay, Freddy, Jason, or Pinhead?
Pinhead.
Whatever.
Actually,
I'm still voting for Michael Myers in this question, even though he's not an option. I vote for Michael Myers.
He's not actually in the question, so you can't.
I know, but hey, neither was something up there. Pups or Kittens, Rat was not in there, but they said Rat, so I can add Michael Myers anytime I want.
Okay, then I'll add Dick Cheney.
Perfect.
Yeah, he is undead.
Oh, God. Okay, first draft, handwritten or word processor?
Both.
Oh, that I guess that's mine, but I don't do a lot of writing. But my first draft of drawing is on paper instead of on the computer, so it sort of will go handwritten.
Awesome.
I switch it.
Yeah.
I know you do, baby.
Oh, God.
Moving on.
I want to stay there. Wait, what?
Moving on.
Favorite alcoholic drink? You don't have a favorite alcoholic drink?
I think that's Patrick's answer, but I can do it quickly. I can say sake.
Oh no, wait! I thought we were back to you. No, I did handwritten, so it's your turn.
Oh, it is? Okay, sake. Yep. I think Patrick's answer will be more interesting.
I wonder if y'all are drinking now.
Actually, any form of whiskey, hopefully bourbon, with an ice-aged bourbon with one piece of ice.
Nice answer.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, and this is number 11 because we have no number 10. One interesting non-writing related fact about you.
Oh, okay.
Take it away, Josh.
All right. I've seen a UFO, a ghost, and human spontaneous combustion. One of those statements isn't true, and I don't believe in ghosts.
Wait. What?
I said I've seen a ghost, a UFO, and spontaneous human combustion. One of those statements isn't true, and I don't believe in ghosts.
Okay, so that would mean either you've seen a UFO or you've seen spontaneous human combustion. I'm going to go with a UFO.
Okay, I've actually seen ghosts and UFOs, but one of them I know is a hallucination.
Actually.
Yeah, I was going to say it doesn't necessarily follow. Yeah, it could be you don't believe in it and it's not true. Okay, I'm glad you covered that, Josh.
That's a great answer.
I've never seen there. I've never seen anyone explode really.
Oh, see, I think that would be kind of cool, though, wouldn't it? I mean, yeah, right? Okay,
I've got a whole list of people I would love to see spontaneously combust, starting with my ex-wife.
Yeah, I was going to say my.
So if anybody out there can organise that, then just give me a call, please.
And for our bonus question, not to be confused with question 10, because there is no question 10. Baseball or stamp collection?
Lord, I guess they both get me to sleep really quickly.
Yeah, I guess I'll do stamps. I don't know.
Damn it! I was all excited.
Another one for stamps.
I know. Well, I still think I'm winning, though. I still think baseball is winning. So, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take a poll. I'm gonna start and go back to each show and figure out how many baseballs and how many stamp collections we have, and I'm pretty sure I'm winning.
You have far too much time on your hands. Really.
I know, right? Okay, and now, we also have, we do the embarrassing story, and then we do 11 questions, and I was told that we have to ask Josh about his ball-busting story.
Oh, geez. Okay, what's the rating of this show?
It's R. You can say whatever you want.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, when I was in college, I went to San Francisco State University, and in the first week, we had one of these dorm mixes, right? And, we're mixing, we're talking to everyone, we're meeting. A friend of mine and I kept getting approached by this same guy. He had a mullet and kind of a slight piece of face, flannel and baggy pants, and he just kind of a creeper, and he kept going, "Hey, guys, you want to play Magic the Gathering? I'd like, come up to my room and we play Magic the Gathering, guys." And something was kind of off, and we didn't really want to deal with him. And for the longest time, everyone just thought he was this harmless weirdo who liked Magic the Gathering, just a nerd, whatever, who cares. Anyways, months later, I'm in the quad, and I'm talking to this girl who's, I was kind of into the whole goth industrial thing, and I had recently met this girl who was into the goth scene, but she was wheelchair bound. And she was telling me about her photography, and I'll be frank, she was really strange. And I don't know where her and her lesbian girlfriend start talking about how they're making ball-busting videos for money, right? And I'm like just taking this in, saying, "Okay, you're serious about YouTube?" "Oh yeah, we're dominatrixes," and they start describing all the different ways that they can, ball bust. And I'm trying to picture how this woman in a wheelchair is busting a guy's balls. And then out of nowhere, that nerdy guy comes up, and he's like, "Hey, how you doing, Josh? Oh, you know Sarah too? Oh, hey, Sarah, you think he could be in one of our videos?" Yeah. That was quite an experience.
It's bizarre, isn't it? What some people sort of do for kicks. I mean, it's just
yeah.
Yeah.
And for a while there, he was convinced I was into the same thing, and I'm like, no, that's okay. I'd run into him in the dorms, like, "Hey, you know what I was doing the other day?" He's like, no, no.
Okay, well, when you're not writing and drawing, what do you like to read? Do you have any favorite authors out there?
I'll let Patrick start.
Well, that's a good question. I don't get a lot of a chance to read the last couple of years. I am working so much, but my favorite authors, it's kind of boring. Neil Gaiman, H.P. Lovecraft, and Michael Moorcock, probably my favorites. Oh, and there was a point where I had read everything David Niven had ever written, so I don't know if I ended up missing any of his last few things, but yeah, that's another one. But boy, lately, I did get into a Chandler kick. I think I read about everything by Chandler about 3 or 4 years ago. So wow. Yeah, there we go.
Awesome.
And I would have to follow up on Patrick on that one. Once I tackled this project, it was the same thing. Just every Chandler thing I could get my hands on, I read. As far as longtime writers that I keep going back to, William Gibson's Sprawl series. What he was writing in those days, his style really resonated with me, and that deeply affected how I approached my writing. Another writer would be a British author by the name of Jeff Noon, who took a really surreal take on cyberpunk with his Bert series, which, if you're into that kind of thing, it's a beast all its own that's worth checking out. It's almost musical in the way it's written. And then finally, I would say that for a while, I would say the work that Nicole Cushing was producing in horror was definitely some of the most stylistic and challenging work out there. If you've ever heard of her.
I don't think
definitely.
No.
She's a bit of an up-and-comer. I think she's just now beginning to get noticed, but Cushing's work reminds me a lot of early Clive Barker, Hellbound Heart type material. It's definitely going to get a reaction to those who read it. You know, very well written, very stylistic, but it's one of those things that's going to grab you and throttle you.
I should look out for her. What's that? Nicole Cushing? Is that no relation to Peter Cushing at all? Is she?
But probably not. You could try asking. You could have her on and ask her.
She is a great pedigree. Great pedigree.
Didn't she win a Horror Writers Award last year or something?
Oh yeah, she won a Stoker for her book Mr. Suicide.
Oh wow.
Oh wow, yeah.
But yeah, I would again be on the lookout. I think if you guys like Clive Barker, she might definitely be up your alley.
You know, the only other thing when I think of Clive Barker, I might think of Nightbreed. That was such I really liked that. That was very creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I think of.
Did you see the director's cut?
Right. I was young when I watched that, and I remember just walking away from that thinking I was forever, I don't know, demented or something because of that.
You know, it was a good film. I mean, the book it came from was what was the book called? The
Cabal.
Cabal. That's it. Yeah,
Cabal.
I mean, the fact that they actually cast David Cronenberg in the movie was just like seriously, but it worked. You know, the whole thing was. I watched it again quite recently. I mean, it's as cheesy as you'd expect now, but it's still a good movie.
Well, no, wait. Have either of you seen the director's cut?
I think it was the director's cut I saw recently. I think
it's an entirely
they had that
film.
They had that on Netflix about in the last year, so I saw that there. Yeah, I agree.
It's an entirely different film.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
have to look
longer,
that up.
but it's very different.
Yeah. It's even got different stars.
Really?
Yeah.
Not really, just messing with you.
See, why? I believe anything. You could tell me right now that the sky was purple, and I'd be like, oh, is it really? You know?
Is it? Wow. Yeah, that's
so
true. That's true.
But
yeah,
no, it is significantly cut differently.
Yeah? I must say, I'm not sure. I'll have to double check. Say again, the girlfriend...
There's a whole girlfriend subplot that was all but completely removed from the original.
Yeah.
That's involved. And, I mean, just the whole arc of the story is different. The dreams are interpreted differently. It focuses a lot less on the killer, less on Cronenberg, and it's more about the Nightbreed.
Because I mean, that's what the book was. I mean, like you say, the killer was almost a secondary subplot, pretty much.
That's how it is in the
it may be. I didn't. I'd say the one I watched again recently maybe wasn't the director's cut. I will look that up. That sounds. I mean, it was still good, but it's still as cheesy as all hell. You know what I mean? It just. But still, I mean, one of my favourite Barker adaptations was Rawhead Rex. I don't know if you guys saw that. I mean, it was adapted from a short of his. And it's just it's like pretty much a strange demon creature attacking a trailer park. But it was good. I mean, it was obviously a man in a suit, but it was done incredibly well. It was done on a no budget, but it worked. It was good. I mean, they could get away with it.
I highly recommend right now if you're looking for films is The Void.
Yes, I saw that recently. It was very Hellraiser-ish, I thought.
It
had elements of Hellraiser in it.
Kind of smashed Hellraiser and Prince of Darkness together in a sense.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was good. It was interesting. No, I mean, Xtina mentioned the Autopsy of Jane Doe, which I think is one of the best horror films I've seen of recent years, you know, and that's going to take a lot of beating for me.
I'm going to have to track that down.
It was really good. It scared the crap out of me.
Wholeheartedly. I mean, it's not, you know, it's not big on effects. It's not, but it's a great, tight little story that will scare and it's got a twist that is pretty awesome. Yes. It will scare the pan. It will creep you out. It'll stay with you, which is the mark of a good film.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. But funny, speaking of films, I mean, it's not a horror film, but I actually sat and watched Dunkirk last night.
Yeah.
And have you guys seen it? I mean, obviously, being a Brit, you know. And it was terribly sanitized. I noticed it was a PG-13. And it's just, I mean, you compare it with Saving Private Ryan, which was, you know, very realistic. This was, I mean, there was very little, there was no blood. It was just all very nice, just like the old war films we used to watch in the 70s, in the 60s and 70s, you know. Watto, Bravo. Some of the dogfight scenes were great. Some of the action scenes were good, it dots between the timelines as well. It just left me horribly confused. Because one minute it's night, and then it's not, and something's happening, and then it's hang on, that ship's sunk already, and it's sinking again. You know, it just confused the crap out of me. But
sounds like they were trying to say.
I mean, if you remember
it in the editing.
Yeah, I mean, remember the opening scene of Saving Private Ryan, the first 20 minutes, that was just took you into the bloody realism of war. Well, Dunkirk, there's people getting blood, you know, shelled on the beaches, and there's not an ounce of blood or anything. It was just like, you know, it's like Disney had done it. You know what I mean? It's almost like Disney doing Schindler's List and making a musical out of it, and having a talking parrot. You know, just don't. Don't do that, Disney.
Just don't.
No, stop it right now.
You shouldn't have said that out loud, because somebody from Disney's listening right now and saying, "Oh my God, green light."
It's going to be, you can see it, Kai. It's going to be Schindler's List the musical with Dwayne Johnson in it, obviously.
Oh, God.
A cameo by Julie Andrews.
They'll change the title to Schindler's Parrot, and there we are.
Yeah.
All right, we are just about out of time, and it went by way too fast. And I want to thank you both for coming on the show, and you have to promise to come back. Yes.
Oh, absolutely. And thank you for checking out. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. It's been a hoot.
I'd love to come back. Yeah, thank you. It's been lots of fun.
It's been a hoot. And I will be in touch, Patrick, about illustrating India's novel. So you've been warned.
I'll get my red ink ready.
Fantastic. Excellent. So it is that time when we have to say goodnight, Xtina, I'm afraid. Say goodnight. Indy, want to say goodnight?
Good night, everybody.
And good night, Xtina.
Good night,
Xtina.
Okay, and we'll speak to you later.